Good afternoon, team. Welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing for our upcoming exam for Unit 7A, trig functions. We're going to practice in this section how to label our right angle triangle. For here, we have our right triangle, and criteria for success says that we are to put in our mnemonic right above our triangle. If you remember from before, our mnemonic is SOHCAHTOA, which helps us to remember that cosine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay. Now, that said, we want to label our triangle here. If you look down at the bottom, it says we should put in the hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite sides. But before we do that, we need to know which side is opposite to this angle, which side is adjacent to this angle, and which side is hypotenuse. Now, the first one you should put in is hypotenuse, which is side H here. Hypotenuse, I'll just abbreviate it as HYP, is the longest side. Okay, longest side, or side H, is hypotenuse. To find the opposite side, we're going to draw a straight line from our angle in question to the other side, and the side that is completely on the other side is called the opposite side, which is side O right there. Opposite. And finally, the last one is the adjacent side. Adjacent means right beside it. So we have the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, and the adjacent would be right beside the angle. So let's label this side adjacent. Now, what if we were trying to find an equation for this angle? What we would need to write is using our SOHCAHTOA model here. Let's use the sine function. So sine of theta, using the wrong function here, use this one. Sine of theta is equal to, sine of theta says opposite over hypotenuse. So I should have the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Okay, which would be this side over this, whatever those side lengths are. What if I wanted to do the cosine of theta? Cosine of theta would be equal to, as SOHCAHTOA tells us, adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And finally, if we're going to do the tangent of theta, which is the angle in question, SOHCAHTOA tells us tangent is opposite over adjacent. So that would be this side over this side. Opposite over adjacent. Okay? And that is how we label the different sides of a triangle with the trig functions. And make sure you use this as your criteria for success for answering the next questions that follow.